Classroom this morning, I think. Okay, Dean, what they've been working on, they just finished, the timer just went off for 30 minutes. What they were working on was an AP Classroom, wrong one, sorry, Lo siento. I assigned to them both Unit 4 and Unit 5 multiple choice, because online all the graph analysis stuff is separate from all the related rates linearization stuff. If we were looking at, I don't know how to go home. How can I just go home? My courses? I think this is it. There is a way to see like the shortcut of the summary topics, if it'll let me in. Does it let me in? Yeah, it does. So in Unit 4, there was like motion, velocity, acceleration, etc. But we'll talk about what's on our test and whether that's something we need to worry about. But they did have towards the end related rates and approximating values. So L'Hôpital's wasn't necessary for you guys to practice. You might have just guessed on those and moved on, but it sounds like a lot of you guys just tried the whole thing. Unit 5 brought in MVT, brought in absolute extrema, local extrema, increasing, decreasing, relative extrema, versus absolute, yeah, concavity, points of inflection, optimization. So it had all the graphing stuff, and optimization was the Unit 5, and Unit 4 was related rates and linearization. And that's pretty much what's on the test tomorrow. So they were taking as much as they could. It's not technically due either one, I don't think, until Friday around midnight-ish. Basically, I'm giving you more time. You can use it tomorrow to keep practicing tomorrow night after part 1 of the test. You can use it tonight to practice, or you can save it all until after you've taken both tests. Friday minimum day, you can work on it then. But either way, it does need to get submitted by Friday midnight. Sound good? And so in Google Classroom, what I have here, let me go ahead and change this due date. I don't know what I have right in here, but I've changed it to be, no, that's the review. We're getting back to the review in a second, sorry. For AP Classroom, you just need to show me the nice, neat work for both Units 4 and 5. Units 4 and 5, and I'm making it due Friday at, I'll do 11:55 p.m. for those of you that would try for 11:45 and it would end up being, okay, fine, 11:59 p.m. Okay, bloop, bloop, save. Ooh, that is not Chapter 4, that's Chapter 5. Oh, and now it's going to not work for me. All right, let's talk about the test and the topics on the test. If you guys want to grab out your notes or your homework spirals or wherever you want to write this down, the test is in 2 parts. Tomorrow, oh, come on, computer. Tomorrow, you are going to see 14 multiple choice. But as you guys just noticed, can multiple choice take time? Now, don't worry, what you were just taking theoretically is longer than some of the ones tomorrow. What you were just taking, some of them were longer than some of the ones tomorrow, but once again, multiple choice can take time. So you're going to see 14 multiple choice tomorrow, and then you're going to see 6 multiple choice on Friday, minimum day, with 1 bonus. You're going to see 14 multiple choice tomorrow, 6 multiple choice on Friday, with a bonus on Friday also. So the multiple choice you're going to see tomorrow are going to include extrema, absolute, and local. Remember, the test is going to use local because of our textbook. Think relative. There's going to be some having to do with MVT. Tomorrow, some having to do with MVT. I think we already talked about this somewhat yesterday, but I'm letting you know like the separation. So what's tomorrow? MVT, about the ifs and then the thens. What else is tomorrow? Is also going to be increasing, decreasing, concavity, antiderivatives, solving for dy given like dx and a function. Points of inflections, there's going to be a lot of derivatives tomorrow, a lot of simplifying derivatives, getting critical numbers or pips. That's going to take some time for you. And then there's optimization tomorrow. Kiddos, if you are given in a problem, not average rates, but average quantity? Just write this down. If you're given average cost, It's something that we don't deal with every day, right? We deal with average velocity, we deal with average rate, we deal with averaging something awkward where we use 1 over b minus a times the integral from a to b. We're not doing that right now. If they say average cost, we haven't even done integrals. What are they talking about? They literally mean take the cost function and divide it by the number of units. So if you see tomorrow average costs, it's literally the cost function divided by the number of units. It's the old school kind of like adding up and dividing by, but you don't need to do any adding. So it's not average rate, it's not with an integral average value. I know it sounds weird, it's because it's our textbook, not the AP. But when they said average cost, they just mean cost divided by the number of units or items or whatever. Okay, so what's on Friday is going to be linearization, radicals, more dy's, and all the related rates. And then the bonus is just the bonus. Does that make sense? So if you're practicing tonight, if you're studying tonight, think graph analysis and think optimization, which technically would be like Unit 5. And then Unit 4 is more like on Friday. Okay, so to that end, you guys have the test review. Let's go ahead and focus, at least for right now, with test review questions that you might have, if you have any, if you've gotten stuck on any, on graph analysis and optimization. On graph analysis and optimization. Anything I can help you guys on as far as graph analysis or optimization first? I just want to make sure we cover those first. Okay, so then any questions at all? Were you guys stuck on the test review? Anything? Yeah. 45. 45. Anything else besides 45 on the test review? No?
67.
67. All right, so number 45. 45 is giving us a optimization problem. Perfect. That's actually what I was looking for. Because why am I automatically categorizing it as optimization, guys? Largest area. Perfect. Okay. If you did not draw a picture of this, shame on you. It's the first thing you should have done. Do you see a downwards parabola that has a vertical shift of 27 in this problem?
Yes.
I do. What's going on underneath that triangle? Underneath or in or inscribed by? Where is its vertex? The problem says it. Where does it hit? The curve. In a way that's parallel to the x-axis. Booyah, I've got it. How do you get to any arbitrary xy point? Don't you go over an x and up a y? Wouldn't you go up y over x to get here? Mm-hmm. So what's on, and assuming this is a perfect picture, what would be on this side? Another x. If everything was perfectly centered the way it should be, I would have my base of my triangle being x, actually 2x, and my height being y. Why is that important? Do you guys see the word area? How do you find area of a triangle? 1/2 base times height. So area equals xy. Now pause, take a step back. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Get your curve, get in your triangle. Every inscribed shape will hit at an x and a y. You got to label your shape with those dimensions, however they are at play. Get them plugged in, now you have area. Wait a minute, I'm supposed to find the largest area. What's the problem with having 3 variables? What type of word problem do I not mind having multiple variables when I take derivatives? Because then they'll just have multiple rates. Related rates, I don't mind. I can have V's and R's and H's and dV, dt's, dr, dt's, dh, dt's. But am I having a triangle that's like moving or growing or shrinking or changing? No, I just want the biggest one. I just want, don't I want to find a prime of x and find my critical numbers? Right? Which might have zeros or DNEs. This one's not going to have DNEs, I don't think, but normally. Right? And then I want to look for my max. What's the problem? I don't want y. How do I get rid of it? Go looking for a clue as to who he is. A of x is equal to x times 27 minus x squared, which means A of x is equal to 27x minus x cubed. All I gotta do is take myself a derivative and then find the max, which would be Depending on what you guys or how you guys see this, if x could be positive or negative 3, isn't it going to be, if it's positive 3, also negative 3, if it's negative 3, also positive 3? This is talking about one specific triangle, a triangle with a base of 6 and a height of, well, plug in 3. 3 squared is 9, 27 minus 9 is 18, a height of 18. Why am I plugging into the area formula? Because it says find the largest value. On the test tomorrow, could they ask for the x where it happens or the value of what it equals? You have to be careful. Are they asking for the y or the x? Are they asking in this case for the area or for the x? Anyway, I knew that was a max. Yes, you could go ahead and actually do like a little and then plug in and make sure that my function does go from increasing to decreasing, and yes, there's a maximum there. But technically on the test tomorrow, if you have multiple critical numbers, yes, you will have to figure out which one has a max or a min. But if you just have one and like an optimization problem, a shortcut is you can probably go for it. Or you can even maybe like graph your original function or graph your derivative and make sure there's the proper sign change and then just go. You don't have to write me sentences, justifications, explanations to slow you down. You just have to get the right answer. Okay? Yeah, AJ.
So did you plug into the y equals 7?
Oh, that's one way. Sorry, I just used my logic and knew that if x equaled 3, then it was talking about the negative 3 over here, and I was like, oh, hey, the base is 6. I just kind of did 3 plus 3 is 6. And then I plugged in to get my y, and then I plugged into the old-fashioned area. But you could have plugged into here and just plugged into that also. Careful. No, you wouldn't plug into prime. You would plug into area. The other question, which we probably won't have time to solve, but we could at least peek out, was number 67. Number 67 is down here, the little ways. And this one's talking about the height of a lamp. This is actually talking about DH, the possible error. And estimate, sorry, the possible error in the result. Give or take an inch. We have that D A is equal to plus or minus 1 inch. That was give or take an inch. That's a mathematical clue you might have missed. And a possible error doesn't say percentage. We're just looking for DH. So then we have to figure out some way of relating H with A, some sort of equation with H and A to make life a little bit easier. But don't you guys see that this is technically a right triangle? Right? And then what did they find to be 15-ish? Oh, that was their A. I think I would have used that A over 20 plus A, right? Little guy over the big guy is the same thing as the little guy over the big guy. You had to use the idea of proportionality of similar shapes. And you could do some cross multiplication. You want to take a DH with respect to DA, like a first derivative, and then plug it in. To be honest, guys, 67, I don't see any, as far as what I told you, that are harder than that. Because you didn't have any word problems with DYs. It was just solving for DYs with clear cut. Clear cut. Alright, bye guys, see you later. Remember, you can see your results on the quizzes by logging in, hitting the results tab, even if it says 0, and it will show you results along with like study topics of ones that you missed.
Abby,
Maybe I'll set my calculators.
okay, bye.
What does it look like?
It's gonna be just a regular access, the new version.
With the light up screen?
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't seen any of those. I'll keep my eyes open. You can also look in the office.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yours.
I think it'll be good.
Lots of them.
You know when we're gonna have the
Tomorrow, I think. Isn't that what they're putting group chat?
What group chat?
The Snap one? You're not the Snap
Oh, I don't have a Snapchat.
Oh, that's why. Oh, I think it was.
No, I could just ask you for updates if you're angry. Because I don't have a Snap.
No, you're okay. Let me put it in there right now. Potluck. Tomorrow? Got the plan? Okay, I'm throwing it in. They were talking about it on Monday, so I'm just making sure it's still. We also have a group chat I'm not in. Hi! Look at her. She's still breathing.
I'm still alive.
What was it? Any good memes?
Oh yeah, there's memes everywhere. I've already looked at some.
I need to know. I'm missing the experience.
ABC test? No.
Math with calculator. Like, I'm
Some
like,
people are gonna feel that AP too. It's like, yay, I can use my calculator. Oh, they're harder.
Yeah.
Cause like I can't even get to the point of using my calculator because I don't even know what the darn word problem was for me. I'm like, what?
They were word problems. Can you give this
Oh,
to
yeah,
Abby
these
whenever
word
you
problems,
see
like
her?
every other.
She is in debate club.
What were the topics covered? Could you even like narrow it down to that? Like what concept you had to think
Next
about?
class, yeah, just put it up there
Or no?
next to the 2 water bottles.
There were some like pretty I did just like rarely.
Oh wait, the CSF thing is tomorrow.
What's CSA?
People in
It's the scholarship thing.
Yeah, there's a meeting tomorrow,
There's these things like
so you might want to
a
attend
number
the
of
common
kilometers
club.
and find out how much it is in miles, and then they gave you like the kilometers of this, whatever, and so it was just what's that thing you do in chemistry?
What?
Building bridges?
Yeah,
but stoichiometry.
No, it wasn't stoichiometry though.
That's the word for it.
Well, it's just the canceling.
Yeah, the CSF.
There was a few.
I just put it in chat.
It was kind of. I think. Also, my
Maybe like English and stuff is easy.
this time the English felt really easy, and there might have
Oh
been
my
some,
gosh.
I've been practicing.
So stupid.
Well, I
Their suffering is my enjoyment.
Reminds you of the rules
John?
the other day.
Shoot, I didn't know.
You did
Is
it
it
now?
fun?
I choose without
Can't fail.
apostrophes.
You mean you